Well, hello there, random person on the internet who hopefully didn't expect a deck tag, because this is another quick brew, so less editing for me, but you can of course still find a deck tag in my article in the description. Today's the second part of my brewing process with brewing crap, and while the last time was all about scape shifting our lands into play, today we're turning the jank up to 11 and try to assemble a combo that dumps all our lands onto the battlefield, breaks arena, and wins us the game all at once. And that combo is Risen Reef, Arcane Adaptation on Elementals, and Scoot Swarm. With this combo, every land triggers a chain reaction that is pretty much impossible to fizzle once we get it going. And it will empty our library so we can just win the game with Thassa's Oracle, or just mill our opponent along the way with Ruin Crap. Make sure you've read all the cards, or better yet, read the article, and let's get right into some games. And let's go! That is a pretty sweet hand, so that's a keep. Opponent plays an island, we play a temple, Scoot Swarm on top since that is a combo piece. Opponent plays a forest, we play a Lotus Cobra, pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest, plays a cultivate, so some kind of Simic ramp deck. We play a Fabled Passage and play Arcane Adaptation here, since if we draw an untapped land next turn and leave that Fabled Passage uncracked, there's a big chance we win next turn. So play Arcane Adaptation on Elemental, leave that Fabled Passage uncracked, swing for 2, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Risen Reef, plays a land and passes back. No land, we play a Glasspool Shores, correct the Fabled Passage, get some lands, play Risen Reef, land? Nope. If we would have hit a land here, we could have still gone for the combo by playing Scoot Swarm, but next turn we're gonna do it. Wow, never mind, they play a Jab Razor, destroying our Arcane Adaptation and swing for 4. Now change of plans here, we're gonna play Glasspool Mimic, copying our Risen Reef, get a land, but take that into our hands so we can still play it untapped and have 3 manas. Whoop, that's another Arcane Adaptation. We're not gonna play this, since if they mutate again, we're just gonna lose it, so just play the Scoot Swarm. Next turn we can go for it again if we draw a land. They play a Sterix, so good thing we didn't play the Arcane Adaptation. They get some lands, some creatures, swing for 6, and pass the turn, and we draw a land, so Arcane Adaptation on Elemental, play a land, trigger Scoot Swarm, and trigger 2 Risen Reefs. Okay, I mean, that's the combo. You see it in action. Every land we get triggers all these Scoot Swarms, so this is going pretty wild, pretty quick. And what can I say? Don't accept all Risen Reef triggers here. You see, I drew this Ruin Crap and decided to decline triggers from there on to play this Ruin Crap, so we can mill them along the way. Let's fast forward this until we can play the Ruin Crap. And there we are. Play a Ruin Crap, trigger both Risen Reefs since it counts as an elemental. Whoop, no land this time. Play a Ruin Crap. 2 Risen Reef triggers, there's a land, get 11 Scoot Swarm triggers, so playing that Ruin Crap was pretty unnecessary because we're not even gonna put enough lands into play before we crash arena, so we can put like 4 lands into play and this is going to be enough to win the game, so let's do this. Yeah, you've seen enough of the combo. I'm just gonna fast forward till we emptied our library, and here we are, that's our last card. By the way, this combo takes minutes to execute. I hope you like this. I kinda like stuff like this, but yeah, you really gotta be patient. Quick tip here, you see these Risen Reef triggers pop up. You can go to your settings and gameplay, choose auto order triggered abilities, so these will automatically order. Just remember to check the box again after the game so you don't lose this, which could be a competitive advantage to order them yourself, so yep, just a quick tip here. Even though now that we did this, this is running way smoother and we don't have to click anything, Arena still doesn't really like this combo and will give you this warning here. Please take a different action or the game will end in a draw, which I find actually unfair since we are milling them and we are advancing our board state, so I'm not a judge, but I feel like rules-wise this is a bit weird. But okay, we just have to wait here until the stack resolves, and you know what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna fast forward this. And here we are. Play a Thassa's Oracle. Opponent reads the cards, realizes their end is coming, and that is GG. This deck is so crazy. Now, what would happen if we accept every Wizenreef trigger? Now, I did this the first time I played this combo, and you will just run out of time. All your hourglasses will be gone, so you have no priority again in the turn. In this case, you have to make sure to have a Ruin Crab, so your opponent is milled after the stack resolves. Otherwise, you won't be able to play your Thassa's Oracle and will lose the game. Now that we've seen the combo in action, I'm pretty sure we have time for another match, so let's get right into this. Ugh, that hand is a mulligan. That's a keep. We bottom the turn Timber Symbiosis, play a Temple, keep Scoot Swarm on top since it's a combo piece, and Soul Warden, this is gonna be awful to edit. Play Lotus Cobra, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Daxos, so they're really all about that life gain, but luckily we don't care about their life total, so that's fine with me. We draw a land, play a Wizenreef. Oh, and a Ruin Crab. Play a Ruin Crab, they get some life, pass the turn. Let's see what they do here. Oh wow, that's a Heliod, so even more triggers on the stack. We should consider playing Scoot Swarm here in a bit since we need the chump blockers, but there's no feeling quite like playing Wizenreef into Wizenreef, so let's check the top of our library here. Oh, you know we're gonna keep this. Let's play a Wizenreef. Draw the other Wizenreef, get a land, mill our opponent, pass the turn, and let's hope they don't go full aggro on us here since we are pretty set up to have a pretty good next turn. Johnny's Bridemaid, that's a lot of aggro, and that's a lot of triggers, yikes. Okay, another Soul Warden, okay then, and an Elseed of Life's Bounty, so that is a lot of aggro and that is a lot of triggers, so I hope you don't mind me just fast forwarding through these triggers instead of editing them. They swing for 15, we just take it and we draw 4th Wizenreef. Okay, so here's the thing, I was pretty in the tank on this one since we play Glasspool Mimic, but we have to decide if we copy Wizenreef or Lotus Cobra, and I decided that Lotus Cobra would make us more likely to combo off here, so we play the Lotus Cobra, crack our Fable Passage, mill 3 cards, and we just have to value our way into a victory here, I guess. Play a Wizenreef, hope for the best. Wizenreef triggers, that's a land, perfect. Mill 3 cards, get 2 mana. Get this Arcane Adaptation and another land. Wait, oh my god, we might actually pull it off here. Get some more mana. If this Wizenreef triggers 2 lands, we are in it. We actually done it. Play the 4th Wizenreef. That's a land. Put it onto the battlefield. Mill some cards. Get some mana. 1 more land and we're in it. And that's another land. I cannot believe this. Okay. Uru to the bottom. Get some mana. Wizenreef triggers. And another land. Oh, now we would have gotten it probably anyways, but now we are very likely to win here. Check our library, 12 lands in the deck. Our opponent has 25 cards in the library, so play the Arcane Adaptation on Elementals. Play our Scoot Swarm. Opponent gets all the triggers. We hit him with the Happy Hedron, and yep, that's a land. That's just gonna be game, right? We get a Adaptation, Lotus Cobra, Wait, are we actually whipping here? What the hell? Oh my god, okay. There was no land here, but everything we play triggers our Wizenreef, so let's play the crab. Let's hit a land here, okay? Whiffing now would be pretty unlucky after all this luck we had already. And you see this? I didn't edit this part. Look at how long this takes. And there's a land. Okay. So we win the game here now. It's statistically pretty much impossible to whiff from this point. But let's check out this unedited gameplay for a second, okay? Like, look at all this clicking. Our opponent might run out of time because of Heliod before we do. And yeah. I'm just gonna fast forward this, but I just want you to appreciate all that editing that goes into this game. But it was just too sweet. What are the odds that we actually comboed off here? Okay, I'm just gonna fast forward this. You know how it will end. And our opponent also knows how it ends and finally decides to hit us with a good game and scoop it up. I cannot believe we won this game. That was crazy. And that was so crazy that I know this is a quick brew, but we gotta play another game here, right? So one more game before we wrap this up. Let's go. Okay, one more game and we are on the draw, but this hand looks mighty fine. Opponent Skirk Prospector on turn 1, so mono red goblins. We play a Ruined Crab. Opponent plays a Wily Goblin, gets a treasure, passes back. We play a forest, mill some cards, play a Lotus Cobra. Opponent Goblin Chieftain swings for 4, we block. Opponent passes back, we draw a land, play Fabled Passage, mill some cards, get some mana, play a Risen Reef, get a land, mill some cards, get some mana, and I'm sorry, we clicked through the face, emptying our mana pool. This deck loosens up your trigger finger, so yeah. We do have more mana for next turn for what that's worth, so yeah, I guess let's see if we can still eke it out here. Opponent plays a Conspicuous Snoop and just swings and, well, passes back. Sweet. We play a land, mill some cards, get some mana, play a Glasspool Mimic on Risen Reef, get a land, mill some cards, get some mana, Risen Reef triggers again. Arcane Adaptation? Are we doing it here? Oh my god, we crack the Fabled Passage, get some mana, play a Shire, which will trigger as a land and an elemental, so Risen Reef gets another land, mill some cards, get some mana, Risen Reef triggers again, another land, mill some cards, get some mana, mill some cards, get some mana, enough mana to play Arcane Adaptation on elementals and a Shire, making our creatures into forests, allowing us to still play Scoot Swarm here. So we got the combo, all the triggers on the stack, and oh, okay, opponent just wants no part of it, scoops right away. Maybe we played against them before, they just knew it was coming, and wow, this deck is such a blast to play. I know it's so much clicking, but once it works, you just feel so big-brained and you get these crazy out-of-nowhere combos, and wow. If you want to learn more about this deck, check out my article, get the deck list, play it yourself. If you don't want to craft the cards, ask your favorite streamer to play it, and I'll see you again with a fresh Color Dash Remastered brew. I'm not sure what I'm going to play yet, but there are some pretty sweet cards here. Sadly no Aether Vial or like Sword of Fire and Ice, but we got Paradox Engine and stuff, so we'll find something spicy to play. And well, stay tuned for this and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. That's right, I'm gonna see you. I'm actually seeing you right now. I'm trapped inside your screen. Please send help.